What is going on, everybody, and welcome to your Financial Dose. Today, we're going to be starting a multi-part series on how to actually start saving money, because it's creating a habit of saving money that is the hardest thing to achieve, but it is the thing that will be able to generate the highest return for you. Because no matter how savvy you are with investing or actually finding investments, if you have no money to invest with, what's the point? So in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important things when it comes to finally being able to start saving your money. But before I get into that, I'll just set the scene. So with FOMO, or the fear of missing out, being a real thing in today's culture and society, we're always tempted to say yes and do whatever our friends are doing and stick along for the ride. And this can cause you to blow through your budgets more often than those "I'm going to start going to the gym now" phases in your life. And this repeated failure, if you're someone who wants to try to start saving, can be very demotivating, especially when it comes to trying to adhere to something as boring as a budget. And oftentimes, you'll tend to overspend because you're going to be with a whole bunch of other people that are spending their money. So the number one thing that you have to start doing to save your money is to say no. And even though this seems extremely obvious, like obviously if I say no to everything, then I'm just going to be super bored and not have any fun and save all the money I can possibly save. And for sure that's true, but you need to find, let's say, a middle ground between the two. And saying no in today's culture is almost like telling someone to go hug a tree. So there are ways to actually approach this problem and be able to decline an invitation or either suggest something else in a less aggressive way. So according to the experts at CNBC, they say that you shouldn't spend more than 10% of your net take-home pay on entertainment. So this means that if your gross salary is $50,000 per year and your take-home is $40,000 per year, this means that you should not spend more than $4,000 annually on entertainment. And these $4,000 may seem like a lot, but if you actually add up your credit card statement on all the expenses that you did in terms of entertainment over a full year, you would be shocked to see how high these balances can actually become. This is why saying no sometimes can be very beneficial to your overall personal finance goals. And not only will you saying no enable you to save money, it may encourage your friends around you to start saving. So here are a few ways that you can say no and not sound like a terrible person. So first off, try to frame it in a more appealing way. Don't say like, "No, I can't, going out is a waste of time, a waste of money," or "No, I can't because what you guys are doing isn't constructive in any way." Try to say like, "I can't today," or "I can't right now," or "I can't for the next month because I'm really trying to save a lot of money this month or this year to try to reach so-and-so goal." And maybe by talking about these goals with your friends, not only will they then understand where you're coming from and not take it in such a negative way, but you may also encourage them to start doing what you're doing, or it may lead to an interesting discussion because maybe they'll start sharing their goals and you could do it together. The next thing you can do is not necessarily saying no or not saying no, but it's to surround yourself with like-minded people. If you're able to surround yourself with people that are also trying to save money, you'll then be less likely to be going out in bars and clubs or restaurants and spending large sums of money with those group of friends because they all have similar goals to you when it comes to personal finance. Also, something to keep in mind, if you do have to say no, or if you do have to not go to an event, don't cancel last minute, because that is the worst thing that you can possibly do. Everyone's planning for you to be there, we're planning for 6 people or 8 people or however many people are going to be at the current event, and then out of the blue, you cancel. You can't do that. You have to be more responsible when it comes to not only your budgeting and your personal finance, but as well how you treat the people around you. And lastly, you could maybe offer cheaper alternatives, because if your friends want to hang out with you, it's usually not so much about the event, it's more about spending time with people that they care about. So just the fact that you guys have been friends for who knows how many years, you can maybe suggest something cheaper. Maybe you guys can go for a picnic, maybe you guys can go for a walk, maybe you can go outside and play a sport or cook at home. It doesn't always have to be going to the bar, going to the restaurant, going to the movies and spending your money or larger sums of money. You can also suggest cheaper activities that don't require as much to spend, and maybe not go for those activities where not only are they more expensive, but if you get drunk at a bar, you have much less control over your finances because you're inhibited. So that's a great way to actually overspend. If you go to the bar with a $20 limit, who knows how quickly you'll blow that $20 limit after being under the influence. So in my opinion, this is one of the most important habits that you need to develop in order to start building your financial wealth, is the ability to decline invitations, say no, and actually have control over the money that you spend. I'm not saying you want to live the life of a Mormon and stay at home and do nothing all day, but to go out in moderation or to set yourself limits of the amount of money that you can spend or the amount of outings that you can go on in a month, let's say. That way, if you do overspend on that outing, it's not the end of the world because you have controlled the amount of outings that you can go on in that given time period. And once you've mastered this habit, you could then move on to part 2 of this video, where I'm going to be talking about impulse buying and setting up automatic saving plans. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something as usual. If you enjoy the content I'm putting out, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about saying no to your friends. Have you actually done this? Has it been a disheartening experience, or have your friends actually been very supportive and helped you reach your personal finance goals? Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.